Hi, this is Chandrashekhar Prabhu once again. The Maharashtra government just announced its budget, and the budget has been quite lackluster considering 1 year of the coronavirus being there. Despite that, the agricultural sector has been doing fairly well. However, one of the things in this budget which is extremely alarming is that the state government has a debt of 6,19,000 crores. 5 years ago, when the Shiv Sena and the BJP were together, the debt was about 3 lakh crores. Within 5 years, when last year when the new government took over, the debt had already exceeded 5 crores. And this year, it is now in the budget 6 lakh 19,000 crores. 6 lakh 19,000 crores divided by roughly 10 crore residents of Maharashtra means that each one of you is in a debt of 60,000 rupees. A newly born child to any one of you is in a debt of 60,000 rupees. That's very alarming. It is expected that the government announced some measures to garner the resources, but it doesn't appear to be so. Yes, they have increased the taxes on alcohol, and no one would like to object to it. But despite the prices of the diesel and petrol being what they are, both the central government and the state government equally responsible in raising the taxes, making petrol cross 100 rupees a litre, which is an all-time record, when the crude oil prices have not been what they were supposed to be. They have been fairly low. As early as in 2013, they were high and they had hit $80 and $90 per barrel. And then they went down up to $40 per barrel. And even then, the Indian taxpayer has been paying through his nose for the petrol, the diesel, hence the transportation, hence the commodities. Every single item, the prices have increased. Let us therefore examine whether we can get Maharashtra out of this debt trap of 6 lakh 19,000 crores, which is likely to go up to 7 lakh crore in the next year or so. Can we get the state out of the debt trap? First, I will deal with a couple of projects which are responsible for getting huge amount of profits to private developers on government land, depriving the government and the taxpayer of what was legitimately theirs. One of the project is done and the money is made. A project at Tardev, which was on government land, which was exclusively reserved for the housing of the police, surprisingly was encroached upon by about 4 lakh slum dwellers. And in the garb of slum rehabilitation, the developer got more than 4 lakh square feet or square meters, that is about 4 lakh square meters, that is about 40 lakh square feet in the initial phases, and finally 4,000 houses into 40 square meter each, making that a huge amount of space to be given to the developer, who finally sold up to 20 lakh square feet and made a cool 15,000 crores out of the project. So the taxpayers' land, your and my land, the government land, which was meant to be for police housing, gets bartered for the private business of a developer, who then, under the garb of providing housing to the slum dwellers, makes 15,000 crores. The state has a debt of 6,20,000 crores, and the developers laughs his way to the bank. That is one such project. The second project is the Kolaba Kafparat project, which again is on government land. In fact, it is on something which was never a land. These were areas which were comprising of mangroves, and some had some shores, and the fisher folks used to fish with their boats from these areas. This is the entire coastline from Nariman Point going right up to Kafparat and beyond into the Gita Nagar, which is next to the defense lands. Now, all these lands were reclaimed by the slum dwellers who came there over a period of years. If this was concerning the defense of the country, first of all, the slum dwellers should not have permitted to be there. But they have been there for generations together and using that particular space for the purpose of fishing. So nobody could stop them, and there were more slums and so on. And the whole range of slums came in. The government should have thought that this being government land and being touching the sea is prime land, would have fetched 40, 50, 60,000 rupees per square feet. The government should have been a bit careful while handling this project. This project again has been given to a developer, and it is estimated that the developer would make 40,000 crores. I repeat, 40,000 crores of profit from government land. So, two projects of slum redevelopment put together deprives the taxpayer of about 55,000 crores. The state is having a debt, and to service this debt, almost 30% of the state's income in this year's budget is going towards paying of interest of loans taken and paying the amount to clear portion of the debt. So, on one hand, the developers are making money, and on the other hand, the state is losing. So, the developers are getting fatter, and the state is getting thinner and losing money, on the verge of, one may say, imminent bankruptcy unless something is done. So what needs to be done? We expected that in this budget, some out-of-the-box thinking would be done and people would have been motivated to raise funds for the state. However, that was not to be. So let me place before the government through this forum, I have already written to government giving detailed measures as to how this 6 lakh crore of debt can be liquidated completely by tools of urban development while providing housing for all, while providing housing to the slums, to the middle class, to the resident of the chawls, old and dilapidated buildings, and to cooperative housing societies, while providing houses to them, also providing affordable housing. So let us see which are the schemes which will help us to raise at least 1 lakh crores initially and finally towards 2 to 3 lakhs crores. The first is a slum in Nepean Sea Road, which was owned by the erstwhile family of Maharajas. The residents got together and under section 13 and 14 of the Slum Act of 1974 asked for acquisition of that property. The collector moved against the erstwhile Maharaja and proceeded with the acquisition of this property. The property was acquired, but one of the Maharaja's wives was in France and she objected to it, and she was paid by one developer a paltry sum of about 1 crore of rupees, and a prime property at Nepean Sea Road today stands in the name of a developer, while the acquisition was done by the government to be in favor of the cooperative housing society. The acquisition happened more than 15 years ago, and in 15 years nothing has moved, not an inch has moved, not a brick has been laid, and most members have since expired. Suddenly out of the blue, the builder comes who has no experience whatsoever of building these kind of housing schemes, and the builder appears from nowhere and says that please sign for me and I will give you houses. The people are not willing to sign. If the people, the society in itself has applied for self-redevelopment, if the society applies for self-redevelopment, then all the people will get houses of 500 to 550 square feet each, and after that the society has mentioned to government that all the surplus area will be available to government to give it to those who need affordable shelter. Now it's up to the government to decide whether they really are keen to give houses for affordable shelter, or they are keen to fill the coffers of the government. Now this was one scheme. The second scheme is in Charkop on government land. How much is the government land? 61,000 meters. Who are staying there? When was it allotted? It was allotted 30 years ago to the Mathadi Kamgars. The society is called Vishal Sahyadri Cooperative Housing Society. And 2,150 families of those who pulled handcarts and who carried the luggage on their shoulder, the bags of sugar, the bags of rice, the bags of dal, which you and I consume, are actually carried on the shoulders and the heads by the Mathadi Kamgars. And these Mathadi Kamgars didn't have any houses to stay, so the government gave a little over 12 acres of land, 61,000 meters of land in Charkop to this society. Now time has come for the redevelopment of this society, and in all 60 lakh square feet can be built on this land. Look at the potential, because it would be covered under the new scheme of cluster development, and will avail of an FSI of 4 plus fungible, making an entire scheme of about 60 lakh square feet. The residents all put together are presently using just about 5 lakh square feet to 6 lakh square feet. That's all the residents are using. Even if we give 3 times what the residents are using to them, even then it would be 18 lakh square feet or 20 lakh square feet to them. And even then 35 to 40 lakh square feet will be available for sale. And if such a sale is given to the affordable housing sector, the government land will be put to effective use, and at the end of the project there could at least be a couple of 1,000 crores worth of profit. But if this land goes for development to a developer, the government gets zilch. The residents of the Mathadi Kamgar who are staying there under the garb of Vishal Sahyadri Cooperative Housing Society organized a meeting of 2,000 people. 2 meetings were held which I addressed virtually, of course, due to the pandemic. But in the ground in the society, 2,000 members gathered, and the entire 2,000 members, there was a big screen and a projector, and I was speaking from here and it was being projected to all the members who were applauding there, and I from my laptop was watching everything that was happening. The speech was in Marathi and we shall upload it for your purpose. Please don't forget to see it, because there is going to be revolutionary changes in the way people think. A cooperative housing society of the urban poor, Vishal Sahyadri Cooperative Housing Society, which was led to the developers' route by some political leaders who wanted to make a fast buck, have come back, and a vast majority of these people have opted for self-redevelopment. So a person who has 250 square feet will get a 750 square feet 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom apartment. A person who has 300 square feet today, just 1-room kitchen, will get a 3-bedroom to 4-bedroom apartment in 900 or 1,000 square feet, totally free of cost. Even after getting the large house, they will get a corpus which would pay their maintenance for lifetime, and plus there would be enough houses. There would at least be 1,500 houses which can be given for the urban middle class or for the urban poor under the affordable housing sector. Mind you, not a single project within the city of Mumbai, within Mumbai municipal limits, has been earmarked for this kind of affordable housing. This is not a government project. The Cooperative Housing Society is going for self-redevelopment and earmarking the sellable area for affordable housing. It's an opportunity where government can not only make money but provide houses to 2,000 or 3,000 poor families. It's an opportunity which government should grab. I'm placing the opportunity before them. Then there is a slum improvement scheme in Malpa Dongri, where 1,400 families are living. After providing them 500 square feet each, or even 550 square feet each, there would be about 4 lakh square feet available for sale, and this could be sold in the affordable housing sector. and a minimum of 1,000 houses of affordable housing in Andheri, very close to the highway, very close to the Mahakali Caves Road, almost touching opposite the MIDC. Out of the 1,400 slum dwellers living in that colony, Malpa Dongri number 3, 1,360 people have opted for self-redevelopment. But the bureaucracy is not moving. They had an exercise to check who is eligible, but the final list is not yet out. The moment the final list will be out, this would be the most ambitious self-redevelopment project and the government would benefit. Ramabai Nagar in Ghatkopar, named after Ramabai Ambedkar, where 10 to 15,000 people reside in Ghatkopar on government land. If that land is developed properly for affordable housing, by the roughest estimate, the government is likely to earn 5,000 crores after providing adequate shelter to the existing people. But the government should have the spine to take up this project. Instead, what is happening is that the people are being pushed to a developer and prime government land belonging to you and me may go into the hands of developer. So if the government is keen or serious to get rid of the debt, it should take up the Ramabai Ambedkar colony scheme. The improvement of the BDD chawls, the redevelopment of the BDD chawls is going to provide a total of 7,000 houses for the urban middle class. Not only will the affordable housing be made available to people, but the government is likely to get at least 5,000 crore in each of the BDD chawls as the profit which can go towards payment of the debt, reducing the debt from 6,000 to whatever it would come to. The municipal corporation has BIT chawls, owns BIT chawl. If all the BIT chawls put together are redeveloped under a common scheme, instead of giving them to the developer, the municipal corporation, by a rough estimate, would make at least 15,000 crores. Where are these BIT chawls? The BIT chawl is Bombay Central, off Lamington Road, near Bombay Central Railway Station. It's been in between Grant Road Station and Bombay Central Station, where the new metro line has a stop. There is BIT chawls on Muhammad Ali Road. The BIT chawls are all over in South Mumbai as well. They are in South Central Mumbai as well. So a comprehensive scheme for the BIT chawls is going to fetch the government a lot of money, maybe 15,000 crores or even more. Then the scheme about which we have been saying, the slums from Hanuman Tekdi onwards between Khar and Santa Cruz, about which I have been making posts after posts belonging to the Defense Department. 42 acres of land, out of which 21 acres will go towards housing the slum dwellers. If this scheme, with the help of the slum dwellers, is undertaken by government, then the government would earn a minimum of 3,000 to 4,000 crores, which can go further towards reducing of the debt. Then comes the Dharavi scheme. The Dharavi development has been stalled for the last 12 years. If self-redevelopment is permitted in Dharavi without the interference of the government, and the government lays its claim to surplus area, then the government is likely to earn a minimum of 15 to 20,000 crores from the Dharavi scheme as well. So as we have calculated now, let me tell you that by just these schemes alone that we are talking about, we have seen that the government will at least remove the debt or reduce the debt from 6,20,000 crore to about 5 lakh. I gave these examples deliberately. There could be many such examples. If 100 to 200 such schemes are implemented by government with integrity and honesty, with a bunch of honest officers and honest workers put together, dedicating themselves to the task of reducing the debt that the 10 crore residents of Maharashtra face, that can be done. So may I request the Chief Minister that the debt has happened. There were some expenses that one had to make. In the past 6 years, the debt went from 2,50,000 crores to 6,20,000 crores. And at this rate is going to further increase. So the government should get its act together, and under the broad umbrella of the self-redevelopment scheme, take up projects which would fetch revenue to the government. And if government gets that revenue, it will not have to dedicate more than 50% of its budget to things like employees' salary, paying of debt, paying of interest, which really do not take the state forward. So this is the game changer, a plan for the state, which I have laid down. I have given this in writing. The government has all this information. However, I thought it prudent to take it to the people of the state of Maharashtra so that all of you know that the debt that we are in can be eliminated and the state can, over a period of 10 or 12 years, become debt-free and cash surplus. But for that, we require the political will, and the political will come out of honesty and integrity. If we decide to eliminate corruption and bring in a rule of law, then we can do what is necessary for the state of Maharashtra. With this is Chandrashekhar Prabhu. I took more time, but this was important because all of us have been put into debt for no fault of ours. 60,000 rupees debt per citizen, including the newly born babies. All this can be eliminated, and the 6 lakh crore of debt can be slowly eliminated. And this is the game plan. This is the forward moving track which, if the government adopts, the state will be happy. With this is Chandrashekhar Prabhu bidding you au revoir, promising you that I shall be back. But just remember, I will also be posting my speech before the Vishal Sahyadri members, 2,000 odd members. I not just preach, but I practice. I go to people and explain to them what they need to do, and people agree. Do see the next post on Vishal Cooperative Housing Society and do respond to us. It's very important that you respond to us because each one of these societies matter. Even if the speech is in Marathi, please watch, because you will realize how the citizens of the state can play a role in seeing that the state becomes economically viable. Once again, this is Chandrashekhar Prabhu bidding you au revoir, promising you to be back with more posts. Keep watching and keep enjoying. Bye for now.